Today's topic of Leadership Demystified is finding your voice as a leader. Every contribution around us is unique. Every person in this world has something to say and contribute to the world at large. However, often we fail into, understand that we have a voice and we need to share that with others. We fall into a trap of feeling that all has already been said or done. The biggest reason for our existence is to exchange our thoughts and build a community of free thinking beings. To find your voice, it's critical that we operate from a place of alignment, authenticity in our personal and professional lives. And the truth is, only you are the expert of your voice and thoughts. We all have the inner whisper, which gets quietened because of fear and perceptions, rejections and judgment around us. Sometime back when I had asked one of my relatives to be panelist in our leadership show, she said, everything has already been said. What new can I add? So on one hand, we have a person like this. On another hand, I have friends and family who love to share their perspectives on every national policy that is being worked out. I just love the dichotomy in this world. Our education system prides itself on reproducing what was done thousands of years ago. While that may be a foundation, a human need to voice and create new aspects of the same needs to be encouraged and practiced. Voice is found in the intersection of four circles, really. And if you want to know more about this, you can also log into, something which I have created with a lot of love, and it has got all the leadership nuances. It's my website, which is called www.drsonalidattabanerjee.com. Often in meetings and discussions, conversations, or even other situations, we are asked to give our POV. It's a very, unique topic that happens in every corporate. POV stands for your point of view. And every leader is expected to have a point of view and to add his or her contribution to the organizational success. Let's see 3 quick hacks through which you can actually create a voice of your own. The first one being celebrate milestones. Every time you feel satisfied after sharing your thoughts, rejoice at the occasion and make it your motivation for the next one. Most of us tend to, hold ourselves back when we are expressing. I'm sure all of us have gone through this typical feeling in school where we are asked to, keep quiet and be a nice person and not to voice our thoughts. But those days are gone. Today, in case you are not voicing your thoughts, it is understood that you do not have anything to add in the leadership journey. So it's very important that you play your role as a leader in guiding your team and also in contributing to the larger arena of an organization. Taking the time to honor your efforts will accrue valuable emotional deposits as well as establish great reflection points to track your progress. We are evidence-based beings. If you adjust your focus to what you are proud of or what you really have right to express, then nobody can stop you from creating a niche of your own. You will begin to cue into similar experiences of milestones and achievements when you start doing that. The second most important thing while creating your voice is conviction on your thoughts. You do not have to compromise to voice your thoughts. Your voice is important and worthy of being heard. If you're aligned to your heart and speak your mind, there is no need to panic about criticism. Take every criticism in your stride and work on them, because like in a lot of articles I've written, that criticism is a part of being in the system and dealing with everything that comes your way and getting that into your larger part of creation. Because unless you're criticized, you really don't know what could be the other ways to improve yourself and to bring in a new perspective to your voice. The last but not least is making a note. Very often at night when I'm sleeping or even during the day, I get flash of thoughts which I then forget. So I keep a small diary which I have with myself, and every time I have a thought, I just note it down, because who knows, I may not be able to remember it later. People laugh at me, but I have seen it has given me a lot of clarity in terms of adding and ideating new things that I could add to my leadership journey. As a leader in corporate, I have had, like reportees to the tune of 5, 10, 15, and my last biggest team was 100-member team, where I had two directors and I had lots of SMEs, and apart from that, I had the trainers. My role was not just to pinpoint what are the mistakes, but my role was to show them how they can really voice their opinions and bring their contributions to the table. And I think my biggest, success as a leader has been to stroke that voice of my team. So apart from having my own voice, I've also been able to support, like clarifying and coaching others around me to create a voice of their own. I think that has been the biggest success that I have had as a leader, to create people with positive mindset and to help them come forward and express themselves fearlessly, because that is what makes a true leader. If you're scared to voice your opinion, at times what happens is that even if you have the best ideas, you're not able to bring it to the leadership journey that you have. So, with that, I would say that go out there, voice yourself, tell what the world can know about you and your contributions, and this will help you create a legendary path of leadership for yourself. Hope this session today helped you. For more, we are looking forward to more such, intuitive kind of episodes which can help you hone your leadership voice and leadership journey in life. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Dr. Sonali, I don't have a question per se, but it would help quite a few people if you could just type down your website and your wonderful blog that you write. If anything that can be copied from the chat box, that can be shared.
Sure, that would be a pleasure. I will just drop in my website, which will help you find more resources and around leadership development. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Dr. Sonali. And it's again not a question, but having the belief that one is a leader, is that the right mindset? Or the other mindset where you want to lead the team and you have all the positive energies and you're confident about it?
Yeah. Yeah, great question. I would say that, like both are fine, that you are in making of being a leader or you feel that you are a leader. Because many a times, even in educational institutions, we are given this opportunity to become a captain or to lead a team, whether it is in a sporting event or in a debating event, and you are leading the team there. It gives you a sense of leadership at that point in time, but over a period of time, whether in corporate or otherwise, you are constantly adding to your repertoire. So leadership is not a static game, it's a contact sport, and you have to keep honing your skills in the environment on a continuous basis. So that's something which is very critical in case you want to really thrive and survive and do well as a leader. So that's very critical, to constantly add on to your repertoire of skills. I hope that
Thank
answers
you.
your question.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was confident that you would be able to pinpoint the answer. Maybe a random question,
Yeah.
but again, it could lead to with your insightful views on that.
Mhm.
For a leader,
Hmm.
whatever is the number of working hours that he or she puts in,
Yeah,
preparation before that and post the working hours, the amount the person subconsciously invests.
sure.
Is that the best method of being a successful leader? Or you only are able to think with clarity when you're free? Therefore, for a leader, it is a necessity that he or she must know the art of how to become free.
So as far as a leader's journey is concerned, while you are coaching and while you're stroking other people to take up leadership roles and helping them within the system, apart from that, you also need time to yourself to nurture your leadership capabilities, to get a mentor, to get a coach, to work on a regular basis, and to have a me time, because you need to reflect on your decision making. We spoke about voice today, even to kind of express what you need to be doing or what you want to add as a value to your organization. You need that retrospective and introspective time where you can separate yourself and you have that thinking as to how you can create a different trajectory for the organization. So I would say that, on one hand, you are constantly within the system with other leaders, peers, networking with others, coaching others, leading others. And at the same time, sometimes you take a step back and you hone your own skills. You are like an athlete who has to go back to the tracks and practice and study or pick up a skill or have a strategy which will help the larger picture or the vision that you have for your team as well as others.
Thank you, Dr. Sonali. Now, because I know about your fantastic background, I
Mhm.
would like you to throw light on for becoming good leaders and being also having been very good sports person. In your
Mhm.
case, being into the tracks yourself, being a wonderful badminton player, I think you went till national level.
Yeah.
How did those two help you develop your leadership skills?
One is sports, and what is the other one?
I remember badminton.
Yeah, yeah. You said how did those two? So one is, of course, sports has helped me tremendously. What is the other one you mentioned?
Badminton.
Okay. Yeah. So I think being a sports person, I would actually recommend that every child, it's a complete development for a child to be in any kind of sport. It kind of exposes you to the outside world, challenges, critiques, applause, and trophies, rewards, and inspires you to be more than who you are. So I think, even in my days of badminton, I would get up at 5 o'clock and go running on my own, and then evening again I would go and practice my strokes and play with other team members, and of course be a part of a team and work together. So I think more than school where you are supposed to go through a specific syllabus and portions, and then prepare yourself in the world of knowledge. Sports gave me that exposure to be a leader many a times. So like in my own life, by conducting myself and my skills, and also with others when I rose up to the occasion of leading others to get the best out of themselves. So I think every individual should play and continue to play some kind of a sport, because it gives you an environment to really bond with other people, accept other people and their flaws, like find their talents and support them to hone that, and work together with coaches, team members, managers, whoever it is, to create a common goal and a vision, which is very important even as a leader. So I think when I became a leader in the corporate sector, my personality traits as a sports person really helped me really network with this team rather than feel alienated, because I see many a times there's always this feeling that our boss is against us, our team members are against us, or maybe, like even our peers are competing and I should withhold information from them. In my case, what happened is, because I had the sporting experience and exposure, my way of working was totally different, because it was more of appreciating others for what they were good at rather than feeling threatened that they were good at something in which I was not. I always took it as an advantage that, some of these people, whether it be my peers, my team members, were more talented than me in certain elements or characteristics or traits. So being able to salvage and leverage the best around you really comes from a journey as a sports person, because it helps you understand other people, appreciate them, get the best from them, and be in this, like I said, that leadership is a contact sport. Every time there is a conflict, you are not just coming out of it with a malice in mind, but you're looking at it as an opportunity to work together to dissolve all these conflicts and to make the best of the team, not only for the organization but also for yourself. Because I would say that, it's being selfish, for yourself to understand and resolve conflicts, because the more the conflict that you carry with yourself, and the more, what should I say, you feel that I'm being threatened by my peer group, by my team members, the more of fire that you build on yourself, which is counterproductive. So being able to disengage and come back as friends and look at each other as strength rather than weaknesses is something which is very, very critical for the team success as well as the organizational success. So I would say that my exposure at an early age in sporting practice, especially in playing badminton and also to a certain extent running, I think these exposures helped me tremendously in my later life, when I started playing a role as a leader, and before that even as a teacher, trainer, and today as a consultant, as a coach, as an entrepreneur. It really gives me a lot of courage every single day, because every time I lose, I get up strengthened to deal with the challenges that's coming onto me, rather than saying that, I can't do it, because failure is a part of the entire journey and you need to cherish it. So when you are voicing your thought, then there are, let's say, confrontations, there are conflicts, there are people who are saying maybe this is not the right way, there is some other way which it can actually be done, and you bring in those elements and that diversity in the solution making. So as a team player, it is a great advantage to have been a sports person in not just my journey. I've worked with other people also who have come with similar backgrounds, and that's helped us, like get the better out of our leadership styles.
Thank you so much. I think you have once again, uh, you have been so beautifully able to explain that yes, having the background of being a sports person, how it helps. Great. Now, second thing, Dr. Sonali, which I'm very personally very curious about is that when one is positioned as a leader, invariably it is observed.
Right.
Percentages may change, but it is invariably observed that the person who is positioned as a leader, there is a very thin line in his conduct, which actually upsets the people around him, because people around him means individual, the other people's interpretations on how they perceive things.
Sure.
But there is a thin line between that leader conducting with his ego, that leader conducting with his or her self-respect. Now, how does this work actually?
Okay. Let me just understand the question. What you're saying is the ego really coming in the way of your leadership experience and results in your environment? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm only trying to say that invariably it is observed that the person who is in the leading position carries an ego, does not know the difference, that thin line between ego and self-respect. Now, this is a perception fight between that person and the people surrounding him. So how does one overcome this, if at all it is happening?
Yeah. Okay. So what I understand is between self-respect and ego, how can you create a balance? And if there is a perception within the system which is going against you, can it be hurting you as well? Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So definitely, because when you start as a leader, whether you are in the system as a supervisor, as a team leader, or even going up the hierarchy, it is bound to be the fact that you have set certain goals for yourself as well as your teams. And when you fail on those goals, then your leadership is going to be questioned. So a leader is very strongly attached to the goals and the vision that a person would that a person would have set, right? So one really needs to be watchful when ego is playing a role. Suppose we all have a feeling that as a leader, one has to always give the right answers. Now, to err is human. You cannot really hold the leader by the by a pinpoint and say that, okay, these are the times you have failed and you're not a good leader. So what we really need to see is that how many times is the leader really failing to create that communication with the team, because ego is experienced by the team and even the others within the system when the communication is not happening on a regular basis. So whether it be the one-on-one communication with the team members, or whether it be goal setting experience with the team members, or even doing a short workshop on challenges that you're facing within an organization. So continuous engagement with the teams as well as senior leadership, because you're a conduit between the teams, the senior membership, the senior leadership, as well as your peer group, right? And of course, if you're interacting with the industry experts, that's the fourth angle that you may have. So it's very important for a leader to ensure that you're continuously communicating with all these four elements, to ensure that you are not getting into an ego situation. Now, what is an ego? Ego, to a certain extent, is good as well. I wouldn't say it is always negative, because when you look at a goal and you have the feel that, yes, if I'm leading this project, it has to be a super success, right? If it's not going the right way, then your name is going to be everywhere saying that you are the person who has sabotaged the project, and because of who the things have not taken place, etc. So that element of your self-respect is that element of your ego is the self-respect, where you are at a level where you're not getting overconfident, or you're not hyping yourself that you are the end all or be all, or God's gift to mankind. But at the same time, you are putting yourself on the platform and saying, hey, look, I am walking with my team, my leaders, and my peers to ensure that I'm able to leverage the best talents, the best competencies around me to ensure that we reach our destination, we reach our goals, we are able to accomplish all that we have promised to the client, to the market, or wherever you're operating. So it's, I would say that that element of ego is a good ego. It's good to have. It's your self-respect that you're operating at. But the moment you think you are larger than the team, you are larger than the ecosystem, and you are not able to communicate with your stakeholders, then you are losing out on creating the best solutions. So it's very important, A, to continuously have these communications. That's where your voice plays a role. Your voice is not just your voice, it is a culmination of all these elements that you put together. Today, whatever I'm saying is not just my intellect. It is the books I have read, it is the people I have interacted with, it is the coaches that I've worked with, it is the team members, who come with their expertise and who share with me. It is my coaches, my mentors, my consultants, my vendors, all of them put together what I have been able to encapsulate into knowledge or a skill or experience for myself and others. So I would strongly say that you are able to leverage the best of the environment and the stakeholder management system if you have this mindset that come what may, I will not let all these elements, because they are the balls in the air, I will juggle them in such a way that they will never drop. I'll, for a second, I'll just shift from the corporate environment to a home environment. If you look at a home environment and look at a woman, like on one side you have, the seniors, or let's say the in-laws or the parents. Okay. On the other side, you have the junior generation, that is your children or their friends and family. And then you have your peer group, that is your friends and others in the society. And all of these people are there in your system, and they can have this perception that, is this person having an ego and is trying to put me down? As against, you work with all these people and create the best solution and communicate with them that I have taken your inputs into the solution, and together as a team we are going to be implementing this. So it's not just in a corporate setup, whether you go to a sports field, some people are playing cricket, the Indian cricket team, every time there is a lack of communication between the team members. Even if you see Dhoni, who was one of the best captains ever, was so because he had a tremendous chemistry with his team members and also with the stakeholders, that is the manager, the chairman of BCCI or the others, and he is bringing in the best to his team. Likewise, if you look at Saurav Ganguly, again, the pride, the swirling of his T-shirt when they won the World Cup was a testimony of the fact that, it's his self-respect come this pride of his team. So it's not just him. It is the pride on his team which is getting displayed by virtue of what he's doing. So I would say that this is ego. I would say that this is a display of camaraderie, of leverage of the best of the stakeholders around you. What is ego? Ego is when, like you call yourself that, okay, I am the only person who can, do this, and I do not need the help of others. I am the expert. I can operate on my own. To a certain extent, for lack of a better example, some time back, in a different, what should I say, era altogether, when we used to see Gavaskar, bat, right? We would all admire him because of his talent. But somewhere he, forgot to leverage the entire talent of the team. There were some conflicts. There were pockets of discussion that, would he have failed his team members? So some players are very good, but they are not the best leaders for the team, right? Even with Sachin, we have seen that whenever there's a crisis, he is kind of better off just doing his bit then carrying the entire team, leveraging the team, creating a solution and all that. So the best of captains or the best of leaders are able to face any challenge within the system or outside with a very, what should I say, confident approach, because they feel they are strong with their team and their stakeholders. So that's where the difference of self-esteem versus ego. So talent is when maybe you overplay talent for many a times, and it becomes an ego at some point in time. Whereas you keep your talent and you say, okay, what is it that I am lacking in? Can I hire or build a team where these people or these talents are put together? So that's what you need to see as a leader. If you really, more than being an artist, you want to be a leader where you leverage the best around you and get the results, then you also need to see that what is the team that you have built around you, rather than just pride on your own skills or competencies and knowledge, right? So I would say that this is how you can bring in the balance. One is communication, camaraderie, constant engagement and touch points with all these people, and strong strategy to really figure out that what is it that you need to build in with these talents, so that you are complete in terms of achieving your goals or vision that you have set for your team, or for even the organization that you're operating in.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sonali. You really have ignited us, and we all are looking forward to your weekly show. It's really opening up so well. You have really one word, आपने तो आग लगा दिया shows के
Wow,
माध्यम.
that's so kind of you. Thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Sonali.